Welcome to our new video series called Long-Term Thinking. My name is Broske. I'm a certified financial planner with Pines Wealth Management in St. Louis. And today we're going to be talking about developing a financial plan. And when you think about developing a financial plan, usually that means stress and anxiety, because that means that you have to get organized. And a lot of questions come up when developing a financial plan, like, where do you start? And how do I plan for something that's going to happen 5, 10, 15 years from now when I can't even plan what's going to happen tomorrow? And then, how do I know that my money is working efficiently for me in order to get me closer to my financial goals? All of those questions form into anxieties and stress. But we need a financial plan. And the reason why a financial plan is so important is because a financial plan can align your goals and your values with your money. And when that happens, when your goals and values align with your money, you're going to have a peace of mind that you never thought you would get when thinking about money. And secondly, probably more importantly, you're going to get time. Time to focus on other more important things like your health and relationships. We shouldn't have stress and anxiety about your money. And developing a financial plan can help eliminate that. And a backbone of any good financial plan starts with what we refer to as a bucket system. And this bucket system is going to help you get started because it's going to help you get organized. And it's going to do a couple of things for you. Number one, it's going to be applicable to your particular situation. Secondly, when you develop a bucket system, it's going to allow you to know exactly where every single dollar is and what its purpose is. So let's look at what a bucket system might look for you. Bucket system is made up of 3 distinct buckets: a short-term bucket, a mid-term bucket, and a long-term bucket. Let's start with the short-term bucket. The short-term bucket is made up of savings accounts, checking accounts, money market accounts, maybe even some CDs. And the one common characteristic of all of these investments is that they're very conservative. The rate of return that we can expect on this short-term bucket is somewhere between 0 and 5%. Our time frame, we have to have a time frame for each bucket. Our time frame in the short-term bucket is between now and 5 years from now. In other words, for emergency purposes. We all have emergencies. They pop up every day. That's what the short-term bucket is for. So it's going to be very conservative. It's not designed for wealth accumulation. But let's talk about some specific numbers. Now, these numbers are not going to be particular for your situation, but they're for illustrative purposes. So let's say that our goal in the short-term bucket is to have $10,000 in this short-term bucket. Again, earning between 0 and 5%, and it's going to be in there between 0 and 5 years for those things that happen between 0 and 5 years from now. If we get this bucket filled up, we're going to turn right around and we're going to pour any excess money that we accumulate in the short-term bucket. We're going to pour it into the midterm bucket. Now with the midterm bucket, now we're going to change our goals a little bit here, and we're going to invest in things that are going to be designed to get us growth. The rate of return on this bucket is going to be somewhere between 5 and 10%. Sometimes it's going to be higher. Some cases it could be less, but that's going to be the goal for that bucket. The time frame is going to be for those things that happen between 5 and 15 years from now. One thing being it's going to happen between 5 and 15 years from now. Obviously, it's going to be maybe you have small children. That's going to be a goal that you're going to use between 5 and 15 years from now. Maybe you want to take a big vacation sometime. Midterm bucket is going to use things like mutual funds, maybe some individual stocks, maybe some ETFs, maybe some bonds. And again, those are things that we can discuss in later videos. The midterm bucket, let's say that we set a limit on that bucket of $30,000. Once we get that filled up, that $30,000 bucket filled up, then we're going to take the excess and we're going to pour it into the long-term bucket. Now, the long-term bucket is where we're going to accumulate serious wealth. We cannot have too much money in this bucket. It's impossible, because this bucket is going to be the most important bucket for us, because we're going to put a spigot on this bucket in retirement, and it's got to last us throughout our life expectancy. So we've got to have growth in this bucket. So our growth is going to be designed for wealth accumulation and to last us throughout our entire retirement. So we're going to be very growth oriented. As a result of that, our time frame is going to be a little bit longer, 15 plus years for our time frame. So we're not going to need this money for quite a long time. What are we going to use inside of that bucket? We're going to use things like IRAs, 401ks, Roth accounts, maybe some annuities, maybe some cash value life insurance. And all of these instruments have one common characteristic. One common characteristic is this lid. I know it looks like a submarine, but it's not. Trust me, it's a lid. This lid is going to be tax deferral. Because while you're accumulating money in the short-term bucket and in the mid-term bucket, there are a pair of beady little eyes here up in the corner watching what you're doing. And those beady little eyes belong to 3 initials: I, R, and S. And if Uncle Sam can see what's happening inside of your buckets, guess what he can do to it? He can tax them. But in this long-term bucket, there's a lid, and he can't see inside of it. If he can't see it, he can't tax it. So all of these investments are tax deferred. So you don't pay tax while you're accumulating. Now, we have to be careful here, because if we are so eager to get money moving through the system over into the long-term bucket where we get maximum growth, Uncle Sam doesn't like us putting money into that long-term bucket. And I'll tell you why. Because you don't pay tax on it, he's going to put handcuffs on that money. He's going to put handcuffs in the form of a wall. There's a wall between the midterm and the long-term bucket, and that wall is 59.5. Once you throw money over the wall, you can't get it back until 59.5. So we got to be careful. But the long-term bucket is where we're going to accumulate all of our wealth, and we're going to do it in a tax-efficient manner. And then once we retire, we're going to turn that spigot on and we're going to pull money out. Keep in mind that this bucket system, the reason why we're doing this is because it's flexible and it can be adapted to your particular situation. Want to know more about the bucket system? We'd love to show you. If you would like for us to develop a bucket system for you as a building block for your financial plan, please feel free to reach out to us. www.pionswealth.com is our website. You can make an appointment for a consultation there. We would love to be able to help you. Until the next video, thank you for watching.